Yeah. Yeah. All right. We are live on YouTube. We are live on YouTube. How's everyone doing today? How's it going, everybody? Welcome to episode number 1233. That's right, episode number 1233 of Navigating the Modern World with Eli. The Walking with Purpose live edition, live again today from Red Morton Park. And today I'm going to continue focusing on this very, very important biblical quote that makes sense for many people that have surrounded my channel or channels out here on YouTube. But, you know, it can work on anyone. But this particular area here reminds me of something where I'd like to make that quote again. As you sow, so shall you reap, right? As you sow, so shall you reap, right? And I'll tell you what, I mean, even people that drive U-Haul trucks, you know, reap what they sow, right? Some of you might understand that, and others probably won't. Hey, how you doing, my love? Respectfully, maturely, and professionally, Dawn is in the house. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me and see me. Hey, Tia, how are you doing? Keep in mind today, we're going to be talking about a biblical quote that's become very famous throughout these YouTube streets. As you sow, so shall you reap, right? Today's topic is Mr. B. Mr. B. Yes, you're the guy that has the record, right? You're the guy that seems to be taking over the restreams out here on YouTube instead of the defendant doing it and his other partner, Miss T, right? I realized you were the one that was restreaming me yesterday, Mr. B. You know what, you stupid guy, Eli. Right, that's what he calls me. He calls me the C-U-C-K. But that's his word. He's like, Eli, you're just an idiot, and your girlfriend Dawn is. And I'm not going to repeat what he's saying because, number one, it's not even worthy of repeating. Number two, you know, I don't want to be enforced, you know, on YouTube guidelines and stuff for just, you know, sharing what happened. I don't want to do that, right? But today's topic is Mr. B. As you sow, so shall you reap. And Mr. J, I'm not dropping the case, but we can settle. We can settle. We'll get more back on Mr. J. If you're new here, you're probably not going to have an idea or any idea of what's going on. I've sued a YouTuber on this platform about 3.5 months ago in a circuit civil case in Florida where he lives. I'm in California. He's in Florida. His jurisdiction is Florida. That's why I had to sue him there for defamation and a bunch of other things, right? And he has a bunch of people in his group that do what is called in the legal world acting in concert, right? And right now, because my stream from yesterday pretty much, you know, shut down their game, because what are they going to do? Try to rebut things that people can run through ChatGPT or Google AI and see that I was telling the truth about everything, and the defendant on his stream the day before that was just flat out lying, right? And now that the stove, I guess, has gotten too hot for the main people to rebroadcast me and do all that, now they dish it off to people like Mr. B, right? Podcast went well, Tia. Thank you for asking. You're going to love the podcast this week. It's about an hour and 35 minutes. Not too long, but it was good. And we might even have you and the other executive members of the GNA pop on next week. Don will talk more about that with all of you behind the scenes. But yeah, here's the thing, Mr. B, and you know who you are, right? You know, as you sow, so shall you reap, right? You reap what you sow, right? What you put out, you get back, right? Right, Mr. B? People call you Bill. That's your first name, right? Or your nickname. That's not your full legal name. I've got that, right? So here's my promise to you, Bill. And let me tell you this. I don't make threats. I don't threaten people. This is a promise. This is also like a cease and desist, right? Because you're probably not going to stop because you can't contain yourself, Bill. You can't contain yourself, right? Here's the thing, Bill. If you restream me one more time with that audience from the defendant's side that comes in to your chat and continues to amplify defamation and all that, one more time that you restream me, Bill, if you're doing it right now, you're going to be filed into this court case as acting in concert. And I think he's already starting to restream right now. And ODN is prepared to screen record anyone that's restreaming, right? That's why he's not here yet. Anyway, give me a second. All right, we are back live. We are back live. Put a one in the chat if you can hear me clearly and see me clearly. Put a one in the chat if you can hear me clearly and see me clearly. Okay, I had to go and file something real quick. And I also went over to Bill's channel. He is rebroadcasting again. And the defendant and Miss T are all in there in the chat acting in concert. So let me just say something to you, Bill. And what you don't understand, Mr. Defendant, is I can show evidence as acting in concert. I can file whatever I want that's legally allowed with the court. And now you're trying to weaponize Bill because the stove is too hot for you or Miss T to do this. I've seen how you've done this before, defendant. And every single person that rebroadcasts me, that you show up in the chat, and that Miss T shows up in the chat, it's all going to be filed with the court for acting in concert. You can laugh at this all you want. See, you showing up there is absolute concrete proof of acting in concert. I screen recorded a lot of what you said, Bill. I screen recorded the chat. ODN is getting a backup copy of this for me as well, and we're just going to file it all. And here's the thing, Bill. You're not a defendant in this case. All you're doing is helping solidify that he's running a group of people for a continuous targeted smear campaign / massive copyright infringement campaign. You are running a watch party, Bill. You are running what's called a watch party, right? And I'm probably not going to sue you in copyright court, but the defendant will be sued in copyright court. But where you come into play, Bill, is going to be evidence of acting in concert to further show that the defendant is using affiliates, let's just call him that, to continue the smear campaign going. So you could sit there and do whatever you want. Now here's the thing, Bill. Here's the thing, which you may not realize, and this is perfectly legal, Bill, is that you're going to become a part of the docket now. And also, Bill, you're going to be somebody that I'm going to be subpoenaing to depose. along with Miss T and along with Mr. J, right? You think this is funny. You really think this is funny, right? You really think this is okay, right? But here's the thing, Bill. If there's something that I'm proud of, is that I've never done anything remotely close to what you've done. And you should be ashamed of yourself, Bill, for what you did. That's part of a public record, Bill. Just like you come at my lady Dawn for stuff she's done, she's owned that, Bill. You should be ashamed of yourself for what you've done. Ashamed. Right? Let me tell you something, Bill. Now, unless I go and I pull further records, I'm not going to pay for those. And I'm not going to accuse you of anything that I don't have proof of, right? All I know is that you were involved in a domestic violence at the same residence as someone else, right? Let me just say one thing about me. When it comes to my family or anyone else, I would never harm someone, especially my own family member, right? Now, I don't know if you had a moment of temporary insanity or something like that, right? But even if that's what it was, Bill, that really goes more to show the type of people that the defendant, Mr. J, surrounds himself with. You, and then in the past, Mr. V, who made a bomb threat at a building and went to jail for that. He also stated in his court papers, public records, that he's a manic schizophrenic, right? So here's the thing, Mr. J. You know, part of the case is going to be you acting in concert with people you can easily take advantage of to spin your narrative when the stove gets too hot for you, because they're vulnerable people that will do this. And listen, Bill, don't sit here and tell me that without Mr. J's network, you'd even have an audience for this. You wouldn't. Don't even sit here and try to make something up that you know is not true, because I'll tell you what, I'm going to continue correcting the record each and every day. I'm going to keep on correcting the record each and every day, and I'm going to file every single person that acts in concert with the defendant in his network within the court case to show a pattern. Now, again, none of you besides the defendant is a party to the case. But your behavior is just going to further solidify my case against him, right? You should be ashamed of yourself, Bill. You really should. Right? You really should, right? Let me ask you a question, Bill. You guys used to talk smack about me living with my mother, right? You guys used to talk smack about me. And the truth of the matter is, yes, I did share a home with her, and I still share that home with her now and my girlfriend, Dawn. We have our own space, right? The in-law unit. But, Bill, I could be wrong, but I don't think so. This is what I've heard. I could be wrong. I believe that you live with your mother too, Bill, don't you? You live with your mother too, don't you? And aren't you like in your early 40s, Bill? Right? Aren't you in your early 40s, Bill? And you live with your mom, right? You know how many people live with their parents in this group? And then they gave me crap about this because I was trying to protect my family by not saying my living situation back then. And then these people came to my house. Like JB came to the house, and so did other people back then. Right? Even the defendant lives with his parents. The defendant lives with his parents. Bill, you live with your parents. There's someone else I won't mention that lives with their parents, right? So You folks have some nerve to try to paint me as someone that's beneath you, right? You try to paint me as someone that's beneath you, right? When the truth of the matter is, I'm not trying to compare myself to you in the first place, right? I'm not trying to compare myself to anyone at all, let alone you folks. There's no comparison anyway, but I don't compare myself to anyone besides myself, right? So, Bill, here's the thing. Sometime this week, I've got other things to do. I've got to start preparing for the spoliation hearing. But this is a promise, Bill. Don't go out there and lie to people and say I'm threatening you, Bill, because I made a promise to you. This is a legal aspect between you and I and the defendant. You're violating me. You're acting in concert. I'm going to file that with the court. So you're going to be now a part of the docket. Perfectly legal. And Mr. Defendant, you can't sit there and try to, get your friends to do a rebroadcast. You would prefer to be doing this yourself. The reason why you're not doing it is because the stove is too hot. Put a 1 in the chat if you feel that if the stove wasn't too hot, Mr. J, the defendant, or Miss T would be rebroadcasting instead of Bill. They shoved it off, they dished it off to Bill because the stove is too hot. They're mitigating liability, right? Clear-cut picture for Judge Stacy. I don't care what you say. You folks can spin it whatever you want. You can laugh. You can call us every single name, Bill. The bottom line is now your name's going to show up in the docket. And you only have yourself to blame for it because you're violating me. You're helping the defendant violate me. That's called acting in concert. It's called acting in concert. And guess what, Bill? Not only from today's stream, I've got screenshots from many other streams. I've got streams downloaded of you over the last 2 years with the chat showing acting in concert. All of that will be submitted to the court in a notice of filing evidentiary materials for the anti-SLAPP hearing, right? 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 That's how it's going to be, right? You see, here's the thing, Bill. You have no emotional self-control. In my opinion, you have no logic or reasoning. You feel you're entitled to do this, right? And you're not. And if it wasn't for Mr. J's network, no one would be watching you, Bill. Right? And Mr. J shows up in your chat, and so does Miss T. Mr. J and Miss T have been going around everywhere together, acting in concert, commenting on people's community postings. It's really, really funny, right? Their engagement has poofed. Your engagement, poof, gone, non-existent. That stream I did yesterday, spitting truth bombs, unlike anything you've heard before, correcting the record. How are you going to come back from that? You're not. You couldn't come back from it today, and now you're dishing off restreams to Bill. Right? Boy, it's obvious. They've got everything under control over there, right? They've got everything under control, right? It's all right. Continue to do it, because here's the thing, Bill. Continue to restream me every damn day. And every time you do it is another instance of acting in concert. You're going to help me prove in my case against the defendant. So here's the thing. Actions do have consequences. And I am entitled through the law to protect myself from the main person that's causing me harm, the defendant, even if he's using other people to help him do it. Give me a break. You all know that without Mr. J, you folks have nothing. Nothing. You could have something to build on your own. But without Mr. J and his network, you folks have nothing. That's why. you're all acting in concert. And I have the right to protect myself from that. Packers lost. Niners won today. Niners won the wild card against the Eagles. It was close at the end. I tell you, man, wow. Don and I recorded the podcast, and we caught the fourth quarter. The 49er house up here, they're going to be doing 49er parties. We've got the power, got the might. We got the soul. We're the 49ers. We will rock you till we win the fight. Right. You want to know what's funny? You know what's funny, Bill? Here's the thing. There are people, even on your end, that think what you've done is ridiculous. And think what you're doing now is even, I wouldn't say it's more ridiculous and crazy than what you did probably 10 years ago, public record. But what you're doing now, they know it's ridiculous. Your own people, right? Your own people even think that, right? How do you think I know where to send any subpoena now, Bill? Should I need to subpoena you for deposition? Because that's where this is heading, right? And here's the thing, Bill. Bill, I'm not here to dox you or anybody. I don't dox people. I got triggered one time like 6-7 years ago. Yeah, you're maybe so, Deanne. Is he still alive? If so, if you can continue screen recording, that would be great. I don't know. He may be on Rumble, or maybe he's realizing, oh, well, we can't give him any more evidence, so let's go underground. Let's now go what I thought was happening last night. Unlisted live streams with Miss T, right? Right? Every time you defendant or anyone in your network violates my copyright and encourages defamatory behavior while using my content while I'm live, they're all being filed and reported to the court as acting in concert. Everything. Every single thing. That's the bottom line. You put yourself in that position, right? It's so easy to prove when you just give me all the evidence, because here's the thing, defendant, all you had to do was stay away from Bill's channel. Same with you, Miss T. All you had to do was stay away. The moment you showed up, boom, acting in concert. Then you started talking. Then you said, I'm triggered. Then you said this and that, right? Now, wouldn't it be a problem if it wasn't a rebroadcast of my live stream that you are there supporting, along with the other lady that you've been acting in concert with? Oh, God. Judge Stacy's going to see all this and be like, oh, my God, this is insane. These people just don't stop. Right? They don't. Right? Every single time, Bill, every single time that you restream me is another filing. I won't file all at once. I'll do like the defendant knows what it's called. It's called an omnibus. I'll wait till you do it 3 or 4 or 5 times, and I'll file it all at once. Right? That way I don't overwhelm the court. The court respects that, right? Every time, Bill, is now more evidence of acting in concert. You or anyone else in that group, I'm done. I'm done. And I really don't care. I really don't care how much you insult me, call me the C word. I really don't care if you call my woman an S. We know she's not. We don't care. You can insult us all you want, Bill. We don't care. We care about doing the right thing and reporting this to the court and handling it the proper way. While you, Bill, are out here on YouTube seeking validation from a group of people that can't even validate themselves. You all need each other to like validate each other because you all have no self-love. None of you are reasonable people. None of you are people that I feel are behaving normally. I don't think any of this is normal. This is abnormal behavior, right? This is like behavior of a 2-year-old or even worse. Like these people, like they're grown adults and they basically act like a 2 or 3-year-old baby that had its toy taken away and they're like, no, it's my toy. Give it back to me. And they'll keep on crying until they get that toy back. Wham! Because here's the thing, Bill. I really don't care at this point. I mean, I do care, but it's not going to bother me if you restream me because every time you do it, I'll be holding not just you accountable, but it'll be more so the defendant. The defendant knows. He knows what acting in concert is. Even if he doesn't play it off like he does, he knows exactly what the risk is, right? And he tried to mitigate the risk by dishing it off to you. I'm not that dumb. You see, I was prepared because I know how the guy works. He does it all the time. He's mitigating liability, right? And interestingly enough, there's a couple of smart people in his group that keep their nose out of it, right? Because they understand liability. They understand the risk, right? Now, here's the thing, Mr. J, defendant. I'm not settling the case. ODN did a live stream earlier today. It was pretty good. It was right before Don and I recorded the Don and Eli Take on the World podcast. That'll be released this Wednesday, episode number 43, right? So ODN did a great live stream. He was talking about the Louisiana man, Mr. R, right? He was going over a stream that Mr. R did about a month ago. And ODN was disappointed because he says that I thought I could trust Mr. R, but I really can't. You can't trust any of these people. Not because they're technically not trustworthy. Their purpose out here on YouTube is different, ODN, than their real life. They're out here to perform, and they're out here seeking validation. They're out here living an altered form of reality because their real life is either disappointing to them or they see the world in a completely different way than it actually is. And that's what I think is going on with the defendant, right? These people don't see the world realistically. They see it in the way they want to see it, right? I missed it by 9 minutes. I was bummed. Oh, ODNs? Yeah, no worries. I think he kept it up for a while. Did you delete it now, ODN, if you're still around? I think he's out looking for the rebroadcast if it even is still going. Because he had told me behind the scenes that he's going to screen record. I got enough anyway on my own. I already got enough. So here's the thing. This will be a first for the Honorable Judge Stacy. You think so? Honestly, like I keep saying to you, judges are people too. They're human beings, right? And they've got to be professional in the courthouse, right? And on the stand and all that, right? I get that. But they're human beings. If I was a judge and I was dealing with this, of course I would say the proper thing, in my position publicly, in my head, I'd be like, what the fuck? I'd be like, man, these people are. God, I'm not going to say it on YouTube, but in my head, I can think it, and it's protected because my beliefs in my head, unless I put them into speech, are protected, right? Once I turn those beliefs into speech, then what I say matters. It could be First Amendment protected speech, or it could be defamation, right? So I can believe whatever the hell I want in my head, including about you, Bill. Bill, I can think in my head whatever I want to think about you. And Bill, I'll tell you, I'm a good dude. I've said some things in my younger days. I've used some slurs in my younger days, Bill, right? Because I was younger and immature, right? And here's the truth of the matter, Bill. Like, I love everyone. It doesn't matter what your age, race, sex, national origin, or your sexual orientation is, Bill. It doesn't matter, right? Because people are people, right? But when people act ridiculous like you, Bill, that's what creates people to want to attack you and your character and all that. And the only way that people can really hurt someone is by using slurs, right? I'm not going to do that here, right? I'm not even saying that I'm thinking that in my head. I could be in my head, maybe. But that's between my head and I, right? What doesn't leave my head doesn't matter. You can assume what I want to say. Oh, Eli's in his head thinking that Bill is the, you know what it is, Mr. J. You know what it is, right? You'll never hear me say it publicly again, Mr. J, but you know what it is, right? Never hear me say it publicly again, ever. And anything like that would just be AI. And that would be brought up in court. Using AI to make me say fake slurs, right? Did he shut down that stream? We got 44 people here. Yeah, did you finally get the point how serious this is, Bill? Oh, I know exactly what happened in Bill's case. GLM, it's public information. You see, these are the types of people that Mr. J hangs out with. He hangs out with vulnerable people. Many of them have a criminal history, and they're easy to manipulate to get allow him to get them to do whatever he wants, right? So, Mr. J, I don't have 100% proof, but the cadence of that sock account sounded like Mr. J. Right? There were a bunch of trolls in ODN's stream this morning, and since Mr. J and Miss T and everyone in his group, they didn't really post much of anything today. They didn't do anything, right? So I highly assume, again, it's my opinion, assumption, that sock account that was in ODN's chat with Mr. J, and he was saying to drop this case, kept saying to drop the case, right? Why do you keep asking me to drop the case, sir? Why? I'm not going to drop the case. The fact that you keep asking it is telling me that you're worried, right? Are you worried more after my stream from yesterday, where you pretty much heard my case? You heard that there's real defamation. There's 35 pages of defamatory pictures you used over the last 2 years or sooner, especially that January 3rd, 2025 burial that you did. You put me in a casket with my caricature. You've used my professional copyrighted image as a sexualized meme, painting me as someone that I'm not. Let's put it that way. I'm watching my words carefully because you folks are getting flag happy. You're waiting for one word you could timestamp and send to YouTube, right? I'm not going to give you that. Ever. Ever. Miss T's waiting for that one word to flag, right? You're not going to get it, ma'am. You're not going to get it, Jay. None of you are going to get it. You try to paint me into an orientation that I'm not. I have no offense towards anyone's orientation. I'm waiting for someone to pass on by. All right, let me know if we're still coming in clearly. This is the bad reception area. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me and see me, please. Okay, you hear me clearly? TS says 1, thank you. You try to paint me as something I'm not, right? And you heard count 3 defamation from my Second Amendment complaint last night, right? You heard everything broken down regarding that video 6 years ago that can be used as supporting evidence of what's within the statute of limitations. I can't get relief for it, but I can use it for a pattern of behavior, ongoing behavior. You know, you've called my business a fraud, you've called me a fraud. There's so much more, right? And you say I have no defamation, right? Okay. And then on top of what's happened with the embezzlement thing, yeah. But you want to come and troll me on soccer accounts and ODN stream and say drop the case, right? And I'm telling you, I'm not dropping the case. But we can settle. If you want to settle, I'm open to that. But you're not going to want to settle because you feel you're entitled, right? You feel that I'm either going to drop the case or then you'll roll the dice. It's not the way it works, sir. That's the reason why we're in court, because there's no reasoning with you, sir. You should settle this thing and pay some reasonable restitution for what you've done and give me the one-way conduct terms that is necessary and end this. Or we just end up going to court. We go through the full hearings, and I'm all set to go. I'm ready for every single hearing. Heck, I've already recited my case practically on my streams. Not because I'm not trying to litigate on court, or I'm not trying to litigate online regarding court. I'm trying to show you and your audience that, one, you understand that I have everything all ready to go in my head and all also written down. And number two, I want to show the clear-cut contradiction between what you put out and what the truth is, right? And I even think your own audience is beginning to see that. So here's the thing. I'm not settling, sir. And ODN, you were on your stream saying, well, if he settles, I love you, broski, like a brother. But if you're thinking I'm going to settle this thing, I don't know, dude, were you hitting the G or something, man? I mean, was there what was going on there, man? Because I'm not settling this thing unless, I'm not dropping the case. I'll settle for a reasonable amount of money and also the one-way conduct terms that are necessary. If not, we'll go through the whole case and get it done that way. Right? And in the meantime, whatever he does, and the more and more people that act in concert are going to be reported to the court through a notice of filing. That's it. Bottom line, end of story. Right? And I've got those down. They're very easy for me to create now, high quality and very accurate, because I actually know how to use ChatGPT and then put it into my own format that's much cleaner and clearer and more professional than anything, in my opinion, that the defendant has submitted, or even his buddy he's acting in concert with, Miss T, that's made a bunch of filings and motions not being a party to the case. which is procedurally improper. What happened to your emergency motions, Miss T? You filed 2 emergency motions in the case about a week and a half ago. What happened? Nothing. Did you even request for a hearing with the JA? Or were you just thinking filing emergency motions was going to automatically flag the JA to send it forward to Judge Stacy? Do you think the court is stupid, Miss T? They know many people abuse the emergency filing selection. You did that not once but twice out of desperation to try to get it in front of Judge Stacy. And guess what? Whew, nothing. Zero. Zilch. Zip. Additionally, you have no comeback. You couldn't go live today. Not you, not the defendant. None of you could go live and come back because you had nothing to come back with, because you got shut down with the truth so hard you can't come back from it. You got shut down with the truth so hard you can't even come back from it. Right? How do you rebut the truth? You can't. You know why? Because you can't handle the truth. Right? Just like a few good men. You want the truth? You can't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth. None of you. Yeah, you're right. Did you see any rebroadcast still going? Or did he cut it down because he realizes this is serious? They probably threw them out. Hey, Angels, how you doing? Oh, yeah. I mean, the bottom line is that a lot of these people have a criminal history. It's public record, right? They surround themselves. And listen, anyone can be reformed. Anyone can make a mistake and turn their lives around. These people made these mistakes. Now they come out here on YouTube to try to be a bad boy in a different way that's less risky of being caught again, right? Put a 1 in the chat that makes sense. So these people that have criminal histories, public record, right? They now come on YouTube, they associate in these drama groups, and they do things that allow them to relive that kind of crazy, risky lifestyle with less chance of getting caught. Like it's less risky to do it, right? Is that why you do it, Bill? Right? Is that why you do it and the defendant, Mr. J, weaponizes you? Right? Oh, here's the thing, Mr. Soccer Count Triggered. Dawn's turned her life around. I'm proud of her. You, Mr. J, have not turned your life around. Okay? Bill has not turned his life around. I don't know about Mr. V, the guy that did the bomb threat that went to jail for that, right? So you can come in here, Mr. J, or Mr. J Soccer Count, or whoever you are, right? And you can talk all the smack you want about my lady. The difference is she's turned her life around, right? And the people you associate with just keep getting worse, right? Where's the comparison? We don't compare ourselves to anyone, but you want to compare apples to oranges. Let's go. You want to compare apples to fucking oranges. Let's go. Right? There is no comparison. None. At all. None. Zero, zilch, zip. Right? There is nothing in the actual there's nothing in the actual public court document that says it was his mom. What it shows is a female's name with a different last name as his, living at the same address. It was the victim. A lot of you are saying it's his mom. I don't know that for a fact. But maybe he's talked about it. I don't know. So again, I'm not gonna accuse somebody of anything that I don't have 100% facts on, right? But if it happened to be his mom, then that's the worst thing a human being can do besides murder someone is beat up their mother, right? What kind of a man does that make someone that beats up their mother? That is despicable. You want to know something? If anything, I owe my mother my life. I owe my mother so much. She gave me birth. She brought me into this world. I almost died in her womb, and it made her sick. It was a troubled pregnancy. They happen. But the doctor saved me. The Stanford doctor saved me. Now, many of you might come out here and say, well, maybe I wish they would have screwed up, right? Because that's how messed up you guys are, right? Say what you got to say. Who gives a damn, right? This is the 49er house. I think they're going to have a show tonight. I got to show you the, that's supposed to be the Niners show, 7:30. Let me see. Is it going to come around again? Oh, here's the thing. I heard about that, you defendant. You're going to do an expose. I mean, I'm hearing this from sock accounts. Listen, here's the thing. Anyone that wants to come here and try to threaten to do an expose on Don, what is there to expose? Babe, we've talked about your record publicly many times, right? Babe, how many times have we talked about your record publicly, right? And you know what? We shared it because we want to help better people, right? And we have nothing to hide, right? So here's the thing. You want to do an expose on Don, do what you got to do, right? Do what you got to do. The thing is, you're not going to get a reaction from us because too many times, right, babe? Does it bother you? Hey, we all make mistakes. We all learn, right? So, I mean, hey, you want to do an expose on Don? Yes, we will report that to the platform. Trust me, there are going to be a lot of people reporting that. And if you do that, if the defendant does that or anyone in his community, that will also be reported to the court because now your community is attacking my lady that I live with to try to get to me. That's more acting in concert. And that's more harassing my partner that I live with. Like, you want this thing to get a whole heck of a lot worse, then go for it. Do it. We're not gonna lose sleep over it. We're gonna take that evidence and put it right in front of Judge Stacy. And guess what? Guess who's gonna pay for it, regardless of who does it in the group? It's gonna be the defendant because you're all acting in concert with him. Right? If he does it, even worse. Right? So the bottom line is do what you got to do. Don't make any threats. Just do it. Don't come in here and troll me with threats that you're going to expose my lady on something we've talked about 6,000 times. Just do it, and we'll handle it the way we're going to handle it, right? Your group is done. It's over. Your entire group is done. Finished. This whole Eli exploit Eli for content, this whole defame Eli for dollars thing, this whole smear campaign on Eli for 6+ years, this whole thing is done with a capital D. It has no steam left. Even your own people are bored of it. When you say cooked, ODN, you mean it's all done. There's nowhere left to go with it. Is that what you're saying, broski? Come on, broski, give me some. Oh, it's charcoal, bro. It's done. They're done. Yeah, I was saying, ODN, earlier, you were saying, like, well, if Eli drops the case, I mean, that's up to him. I'm not dropping the case. Were you just playing with them, dude? Did you seriously think there would be a chance I would drop the case? I'm not going to drop the damn case, ever. Now, if he wants to settle with me, there's going to be a good amount of money involved, and I'm still going to need to get all the terms on a lifetime conduct protective order, right? That's the only way I would settle. It's going to be a good amount of money, and it's not going to be, look, it's not going to be only like a few grand or something. This is going to, no, because I honestly don't think he would ever settle. But if he comes to try and settle for 5 or 10 grand, or even 15 grand, right? If he comes in and tries to settle for that, and then he even give me the one-way conduct terms, nah, I've turned that down. No. So I wouldn't even take 15 grand. If he offered me 15 grand right now, I wouldn't take that. No freaking way. Nope. Not when we go to court, and then we're going to file for punitive damages, and those punitive damages, if they're awarded, will be a lot more than that, and there's no monetary damages needed to prove that. There's no reason to subpoena financials. This is just it would be punitive damages. That's it. It would be punitive damages. I guess, Bill, you're taking my notice pretty seriously because there's 40 people here, right? Now you've been probably asked by the defendant back off because everything is now evidence, right? Everything is now becoming evidence of acting in concert. You all know what that is. You joke about it. You laugh about every damn thing that comes out of my mouth, but you're not going to be laughing when Judge Stacy lays down the law, right? What's the matter, Bill? You embarrassed? This guy's a gangster. His real name is Clarence, and Clarence lives at home with both parents. And Clarence's parents have a real good marriage, right? Are you embarrassed, Bill? Are all of you embarrassed? Are you getting embarrassed because the truth hurts? Right? Yeah, the truth hurts, but also the truth shall set you free. Right? What's the matter, dog? You embarrassed? I think they hear every word you're saying. They just can't process it because their brains. Yeah, you're right, Lewis. You're right. And I thought you already made an offer to him and he declined. No, I didn't make him an offer. I basically said if he's open to an offer, it would have to be a good amount of money, and it would have to be one-way conduct terms, lifetime protective order, with fee shifting for mistakes he makes in the future. We go right back into court. The court retains jurisdiction for life. We wouldn't have to file a new case. That would all be requested. So when you get a protective order like that, you request that the court retains jurisdiction because that holds them accountable. And you also request fee shifting on the protective order. For example, if he violates, me defamatory, right? He's going to have like a 48-hour cure and repair period, meaning that he's going to be able to, correct the record. If he doesn't, we're right back in court, and it would cost him. Let's say the fee shift is $15,000 per incident, then it would cost him $15K. And we go right back to court into the same case. We just file a hearing. We don't have to file a new case. The court retains. It's very important that when you get a protective order, in order to be able to enforce that, you request the court to retain jurisdiction even when the case ends. And typically they will grant that. I've done my homework on this whole thing. I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm not out here playing games on YouTube. I'm ready to rock and roll. All I'm doing on YouTube is correcting the record and sharing with our audience here at the GNA what's going on. All right? We are at 56 minutes. We've got about 10 more minutes or so. Babe, if you want to start getting any quote you may have right now, if you want to start getting any quote you may have in the chat. Jay from L Channel 3. Oh, a certain friend of a certain daughter has already talked to me over the phone. Recorded, of course. Yeah, you illegally record people. If that's even you, that may not even be you, right? We don't even know if that's you. That could be Louisiana man. It could be anyone. But it is probably you, sir, because you're the only one that's invested in this. He's got Jay from the L Channel 3, 4, 5. He's got them all loaded up, man. No quote, just be good to each other. Oh, you love my lingo, huh, baby? Oh, they're going to be doing there's some band in there. I guess it's senior night. You're right, Lewis. That's what they are. Got any more stocks, Mr. J from the L Channel? Good advice, Don. Yeah, here's the thing. Whatever you folks put out from this point on is just going to be filed with the court. Right? And here's the thing. If Mr. J does it on his own channels and it's his voice, that's easy to file. If some other channel does it that runs a live stream chat, I'm just going to leave it lay and keep my powder dry and see if you keep HB out of your filthy mouth. Here's the thing, sir. You do what you got to do. If your woman gives us no reason to talk about her on her anonymous YouTube account where she has a community wall and where she comments on your live streams and postings and comment sections as well, If there's no reason to talk about her, we won't, right? If she gives us a reason to, sir, we will gladly talk about it within our First Amendment protected speech. We will do it respectfully, maturely, and professionally, unlike you, sir, right? Sir, I'm open to settlement. That's probably your best option right now. I don't care if you take it or not. The bottom line is I actually want to go to court with you because I know, here's the thing, sir. I want to go to court with you because I want them to record it and I want people to see the court hearing. And no, this is not for YouTube content. This is for one thing. It's for one thing, for people to see how unreasonable you are and how reasonable I am. I don't care about the YouTube clicks or anything. But I want you to know, like, I'm not trying to get you to settle because I fear going to court with you. I actually would prefer to go to court with you, right? I'm giving you an option. I'm being reasonable here, right? That way I go to Judge Stacy and say, Judge Stacy, I've tried to settle with him. I've tried to give him this evidence. I've tried to give him what he wants. I put him on notice. I tried to get him to stop. I've sent him a cease and desist years ago. He put it in his kitty's litter box, right? That kitty's since passed on, Your Honor, but, you know, it's all good. I won't say that. I'm just, you know, that's what happened, right? Right? So hey, I'm not worried about having to go to court. I would prefer to go to court, but hey, if you want to end it sooner, then we could settle. It's going to cost you a good amount of money, and it's going to be the same one-way conduct terms I'll be requesting. Well, I've already put it in my clarification of damages filing, clarifying damages. All right? All right, folks. I'm going to go. Babe, I'm going to surprise you. I'm going to run one quick errand. I'm not going to say anything. I'll surprise you. I'm going to run a quick errand. And see you home in a little bit. Have a good one. Take care. And as always, be good to each other. See you all tomorrow. Good night, everyone.